The Farmer Who Planted Dreams, From Struggle to Success. Chapter 1. The Harsh Reality. In a remote village surrounded by dry, cracked earth, there lived a young man named Samuel Green. Born into a family of farmers, Samuel had spent his entire life working the land under the scorching sun. But despite their relentless efforts, his family barely scraped by. Droughts, pests, and unpredictable weather often destroyed their crops, leaving them in debt year after year. Samuel watched as his parents aged prematurely, their hands calloused and backs bent from decades of labor. He vowed to find a way out, not just for himself, but for his family and others like them. Yet every attempt he made seemed futile. Banks refused loans because they considered farming too risky, and buyers paid pitifully low prices for his produce. One evening, as Samuel sat on the porch staring at the barren fields, he whispered to himself, "If I don't change something, my children will suffer the same fate." Chapter 2. A Seed of Innovation. Determined to break free from the cycle of poverty, Samuel began researching ways to improve his farming practices. He borrowed books from a local library and devoured articles online whenever he could access the internet at the town cafe. One day, he stumbled upon an article about hydroponics, a method of growing plants without soil using nutrient-rich water solutions. At first, Samuel thought it was impossible. How could someone like him, with no advanced tools or resources, implement such a modern technique? But the idea stuck with him. Hydroponics promised higher yields, faster growth, and reduced dependency on rainwater, a perfect solution for his drought-prone region. With nothing more than scrap materials and sheer determination, Samuel built his first hydroponic system. Using old PVC pipes, plastic containers, and recycled nutrients, he planted lettuce and spinach in a small corner of his backyard. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. Within weeks, he harvested his first batch of fresh greens. Chapter 3. Turning Challenges into Opportunities. Word quickly spread in the village when Samuel started selling his hydroponically grown vegetables at the local market. Unlike traditional crops that wilted during droughts, his produce remained lush and vibrant. Buyers were amazed by the quality, and soon Samuel couldn't keep up with demand. But success didn't come without challenges. Neighbors mocked him, calling his methods unnatural and questioning whether his food was safe to eat. Some even accused him of witchcraft. To combat these doubts, Samuel invited curious villagers to visit his farm. He explained the science behind hydroponics and offered free samples of his produce. Slowly, skepticism turned into admiration. As orders increased, Samuel realized he needed to expand. However, he lacked the funds to invest in better equipment. Undeterred, he approached local restaurants and grocery stores, offering to supply them directly. His pitch was simple: fresher produce, consistent supply, and fair prices. Many agreed, providing him with upfront payments that allowed him to upgrade his operation. Chapter 4. Scaling Up. Within 2 years, Samuel's hydroponic farm became the talk of the region. Farmers from neighboring villages traveled miles to learn his techniques. Recognizing an opportunity to help others, Samuel started hosting workshops, teaching fellow farmers how to set up their own hydroponic systems. He charged only what they could afford, ensuring knowledge reached even the poorest families. To reach a wider audience, Samuel partnered with a tech-savvy friend to create a mobile app called Green Future. The app connected farmers to urban markets, allowing them to sell directly to consumers and avoid exploitative middlemen. It also provided tips on sustainable farming practices and weather forecasts to help plan harvests. As his business grew, Samuel reinvested his earnings into expanding his farm and developing eco-friendly packaging. He hired workers from his village, providing jobs to unemployed youth and women. What started as a tiny backyard experiment blossomed into a thriving enterprise worth millions. Chapter 5. Giving Back. Despite his newfound wealth, Samuel remained grounded. He remembered the struggles of his childhood and dedicated himself to uplifting others. He established a foundation to provide interest-free loans to aspiring farmers and funded schools in rural areas. Every time he spoke publicly, he reminded people of one thing: success isn't measured by how much you earn, but by how many lives you touch along the way. Years later, Samuel stood before a crowd of thousands at an international agriculture conference, receiving an award for his contributions to sustainable farming. Looking out at the audience, he said, "I didn't have money, education, or connections when I started. All I had was a dream and the courage to take the first step. If I can do it, so can you." Key takeaways from Samuel's story. Adaptability is key. When faced with adversity, look for innovative solutions. Sometimes thinking outside the box can lead to breakthroughs. Start small. Think big. You don't need massive resources to begin. Start where you are, use what you have, and grow steadily over time. Education empowers. Knowledge is a powerful tool. Never stop learning, even if it means starting from scratch. Help others succeed. True success lies in lifting others as you climb. Share your knowledge and opportunities to create a ripple effect of positive change.